Hey guys, RJ here. This week there is a pretty special day for the Star Wars universe, May 4th. May the 4th be with you guys. So I decided I would make the Mandalorian's junkyard kit bashed N-1 Starfighter. For those of you that may be new to the channel, I like to design and print my own models using Blender. So usually the first half of the video is me designing, in this case the N-1 Starfighter, and the second half is me at least attempting to print and paint the model. So with that being said, I'd like to give a thank you to all of my 59 subscribers. Thank you guys for showing me that you're interested enough in my content to possibly want to see more. And it really does mean a lot to me that I've already had a lot of interest in what I do. I was pretty sure I was going to sit at 2 subscribers for the rest of my life. So anyways, thank you guys, and as a thank you I will be making this model available for free, so if you have a 3D printer at home, this model will be available to you in the video description below. To start the video, let's get into designing the Mandalorian's N-1 Starfighter. Alright, so that pretty much concludes the 3D modeling segment of the video. I went back off camera and added some really tedious details, but there was so much undoing and redoing that I don't think it was really worth showing. I also split the model into parts to make 3D printing a little bit easier. So after splitting and remeshing the model, I put it into Chai-2 box and added my supports and hollowed out some of the bigger pieces like the engines and the main body, and then it was time to try to print it. So this portion probably took me the longest of anything in the video. Basically what I had done is after I cured it, I started sanding it off. I used 220 grit sandpaper, and then once I sanded it, I started trying to glue it all in place and get it as straight as possible before adding black primer to it. After I made sure the whole model was covered with primer, I went over the whole thing with a silver metallic acrylic paint from the airbrush. And for the next step, I just went around with some, I think I used red, blue, and black acrylic paint, and I just picked out some different little details from the model to kind of give it some more variety, so that it wasn't all just silver. So after I painted all the small details, I went over the whole thing with a black wash, to which I then dabbed most of it off with a paper towel, but this added a lot of grit to the model to give it more of a junkyard spaceship look. I also made sure to leave the very front alone, since in the show it's more shiny than the rest of the ship. Almost chrome colored, I'd say. So here I quickly hopped back into Blender because I wanted to make a little display stand so the N-1 wasn't just sitting flat on the desk. I then put the pilot windshield, droid windshield, and the top half of the stand into Chai-2 box so I could print them in this new crystal clear resin I got. The bottom half of the stand I actually printed on my Ender 3. And then for the last step, I sprayed some black ink over top of the windshield and the droid windshield, just kind of to make it look like a more tinted color. It came out a little more matte than I wanted, but I could always go back over it with like a gloss varnish or something afterwards. But with that being said, here's the final result.